What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Forest Green Career Mode. We are at episode number 2, and it is finally time to get into the good stuff, to get into the juicy topics, the games at hand. And we start here today with our second game of the season against Oxford United, in what should be a little bit of an interesting one. Actually, I may be wrong, and it may be a cup game, because I feel like Oxford United are in League One, which they are. It's the Carabao Cup or the EFL Cup or whatever else it's known as, but we have to try and progress here. You know, it's a cup. It's an opportunity for a lot of extra money, a lot of extra things going our way if we can get far enough in it, and we get off to a good start there. Ben Brereton getting a close shot early on, and it kind of set up the mood for the game. But because Oxford are a league ahead, you know, they have the better players, they have the better resources, and they were just able to work down this Forest Green Rovers side that, of course, I still haven't accustomed to, and I still haven't found my way into yet to make it the team that I want to make it. I mean, team tactics is still something that needed sorting out, and I think they were sorted out. I just didn't show them because it took me a while to decide what I wanted, but it was a little bit difficult to get everything going, and then a lot of stuff just wasn't going our way in the game, as you see there from Brereton, missing and hitting the crossbar in what could have been a great goal there. But after after it continued on, and Oxford United were on the attack here, the goalkeeper passed the ball to them from the goal kick, and everything just fell apart. The difficulty that defending has this year made it even more straining, almost, to try and stop Oxford United, and then they go and do that in the 65th minute. The man who was praised for being a new signing from Wolves goes and scores against us in his debut game. Oxford United took a 1-0 lead just after the hour mark, and it meant that unless we could do something quickly, our time in the EFL Cup would be over before it began. You see there, it's just a kind of a gentle tap in for him. Keeper a little bit off his line. Not really much to do. We tried our hardest. We tried everything we could, but it just was not enough. Oxford United went through, and for some reason, the crowd went absolutely mental when it happened, as if they had won the World Cup or something. All you've done is progress to the second round of the EFL Cup. Please calm down. Just for all of us. There's the guy who scored the goal, and yeah, it was a little bit gutting to be out of a cup already, but it means we can pay more attention to the league, which is the main thing at hand, truth be told, and have everything that we have going for us. So we went right back to the league even, to play Mansfield Town. Of course, last time out we drew our game against Barnet. We have to try and bounce back from it and get a win here. And I want to say thank you as well quickly to everyone who watched the first episode, who liked it, who left a positive comment. It meant a lot, because this is a career mode that I'm feeling strong about. And I feel as if I actually, you know, like with Nottingham Forest especially, I really care about this career mode. And I want it to do well, both in the channel, and of course I want it to just be an entertaining career that people can enjoy. But with that being said, we got to turn our attention back towards the games right now, and that's what we're doing here. See the lineup here, 4-2-3-1 once more. I think it was this episode or maybe the next one where things got a little bit changed up in the formations. I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, team tactics have been installed yet, but however, I'm not 100% sure on that one. But you see here, James, I think it is, taking the ball, playing it under Brereton, who comes out to the wing. Then it's Brown, into Brown, and Reese Brown knocks it in for 2 from 2 on the season. It's a really well planned out team goal, I guess you can say. I mean, it's not as if it was planned out, but it just kind of all came together, everything connected. And we just scored a really nice goal. The kind of, I guess, chip pass more so than anything from Brown into Brown. And it's Reese Brown scoring yet another goal. Smashing it home there. Making sure the Mansfield keeper wasn't getting to it. But that didn't mean Mansfield were done. No, it just meant they got even hungrier. And the problem is when they get hungry with a defence like Forest Green's, which really isn't the best. It's young, but it's not the best. It was easy for Mansfield Town to break down, and just shy of the first half, they equalised just before the whistle went. It was a good save, to be fair, from that angle, but if only there was a defender marking him back. Yoko came too far in field, and it left that man there just shy of the 6-yard box with an opening, and Laird there just did nothing to try and stop that ball. Rose made sure that Mansfield had a bit of celebrating to do heading into half-time, and we had to really pull it out to try and get the win here, and that's exactly what we did. Marsh Brown with the shot. It gets deflected, it gets saved even, and then it gets cleared later on. It was a good opportunity, but it wasn't as if we were done. 90th minute, Robert, a super sub coming on, trying to save us, plays the ball into Traore. He goes down, and sadly, it was a 1-all draw. It was kind of disappointing that that was the case. The way we played, it was much better, I felt, than Mansfield were playing. But sadly, it was a 1-all draw and another point for us in the championship. And as you can see, they were lying in 16th right now. 2 games played, 2 points. But of course, there's still a whole load more to go. There's 44 more games to go in this season. So everything is kind of alright. We decided to sim this game against Yeovil. Yeovil are kind of like your... I think in this game they're rated as like a mid-table League 2 team. So I had faith in us being able to sim and maybe pull out a point. And we're pulling out a point right now, as you can see. Goals in the 4th and 5th minute for some reason. And it seemed to be pretty damn normal all the way until the end. Nothing much entertaining happening. And eventually, yes, we were able to hang on for a 1-all draw. So that made it 3 games played, 3 points, undefeated, but also walking around without a win as we headed into the game against Colchester. We needed a win here more than anything. We're currently sitting, as you can see, in 17th. Colchester, however, have got off to a flying start in the League 2 standings right now. They're sitting in 4th. Their lineup looking healthy as well. 5-2-1-2, very defensive minded, but perhaps maybe they could catch us out on the counter-attack. We've proven to the teams that we've played that our defense isn't the best, and once a game is tied, once we give up the lead, what we've proven in these games is we can take the lead, but we can't hang on to it thus far, and maybe that might be the tactic here in this one. Same formation as before, 4-2-3-1, looking to try and get the first win with Forest Green in a competition that matters. Of course, the preseason doesn't mean anything. We're in the game here. It's early days. It's the first few minutes. James there, running down the left, cuts in field. He's in the box now. He takes the shot, and within 2 minutes, we're in the lead. Thanks to James, a striker usually, but his speed enables him to be on that left wing quite comfortably. And he's scoring in a very quick amount of time. The Colchester keeper can hardly believe it here. He runs some way. The centre-back is basically drawn off his line, and it just creates a giant gap for James to run down. And with him being a striker, he's got that natural finishing to him, and he knew just where to put it past the keeper to give us an early lead. We were not stepping off the gas pedal, though. We stayed right on it, and we made sure to go all the way. Laird, the left back, gave it a hell of a wall up, and unfortunately for Brereton, he couldn't get another goal to add to his tally. And it then decided to show us the save once more. You can see here on the replay, it's a thumping shot by Laird. But it's a good save as well from the keeper. Move on here now. Second half. 1-0 up still. Colchester were attacking. It's a bad goal kick. It's a giant gap left in the defence. And it's 1-1. A feeling that's become all too similar now. Gave up our lead against Barnet. Gave up our lead against Yeovil, and gave up our lead against Mansfield. And now we've done it here. The 4th game in a row, essentially, in the league that we've taken the lead in, and the 4th game that we've blown the lead in as well. It's a terrible, terrible decision there. The defender coming all the way out, and from the moment that he walked up to that net, you could tell it was going in. There was nothing Collins could do to stop that one. And it really brought worry really into the squad. Collins wanted to rectify that goal that he let in, and he starts here by punching it out. He tries to start a counter-attack here. Ben Brereton loses the ball, but Robert is there to catch it up. And I know he's called Robert because he's French. Brereton holds up the ball. It's Reece Brown. He hits it, and he scores again. Reece Brown, 3 out of 4 for the youngster. Perhaps the star of Forest Green's future, along with that man there, celebrating to the side of him. It's Reece Brown who leads us back into the lead of this game. It's a great job there by Robert to hold up the play as long as he did, allowing practically Reece Brown to run back in. Brereton plays off a simple ball, but Brown is given so much space to run in practically. It's an awkward angle to finish it at, but he gets the job done. We continue on here, 75th minute now. We've still got the lead. Robert plays the ball into Brereton. He holds it up just long enough so Robert can knock it into the back of the net. It's 3-1, and unfortunately, it's kind of annoying because I'm not supposed to be playing Robert as a result of wanting to use the Ecotricity Arena and some problems with Korea. I had to use the default squads, and Robert doesn't play for Forest Green anymore. Therefore, I didn't really want to bring him on, but I put him on the subs bench on accident, and I kind of had no choice in the matter. So I played him. I believe after this game he was sold, but I didn't show the signing. I didn't show the selling of him, I should say. But we picked up our first win of the league over a team that was off to a good start. We pick up our first win over a team that hadn't lost thus far. And it was very so happy to win it. The euphoria, I guess, of finally getting a win was incredible, but we didn't have long to celebrate it because we were right back into the sit-down meetings. We were right back to trying to make this team even better. We were right back to trying to improve, and we needed to fill in that left mid role. With James playing that left mid, he could always play backup, but I wanted to bring in an actual person who could fit on that left, and that was exactly what I looked for here in Jean Carlos. A young Spanish left winger, had good pace. He was fairly tall as well. I didn't know his stats entirely until I signed him, but sadly, these were trying times. As you can tell, the guy wants crucial, but to be fair, 21 years old and 65 rated, he can practically fit into that starting team right away. He's a much better rating than what James is by a good, 7 ratings, I think. So there's no worries there. The contract was, as you can see, signed right by there. 2.4k a week. The signing bonuses, again, dragging our transfer budget down to nothing. The end of this transfer, we were practically skint. All we had left was wages. However, Jean Carlos was a signing that we needed in order to get somewhere, in order to succeed. And you can see his stats here. I actually thought he was going to be faster than what he was, but he has pretty decent stats. He can hold that ball. And being 6'1" as well enables him to perhaps, if I decide to, play him in more of a midfield role than anything else. But we move on here to, this is, I believe, the Checker Trade Trophy, otherwise known as the Johnson's Paint Trophy. And we've got our first game against another League One side in Fleetwood Town. It was in between the signing of Jean Carlos and this game that I went into the tactics. I changed them up a little bit, and I made sure that we could maybe get it to work in such a way that we can capitalize on our strengths and kind of patch away our weaknesses, and that's what we looked for right here in this game against Fleetwood. A tough game to be sure, and we didn't want to repeat of what happened at Oxford. You see here Jean Carlos making a run, get a bit lucky there because the left back falls over, and Jean Carlos in his debut scores a thumper of a goal to give us the lead fairly early on. I did not expect him to be smashing that one in. You take a look at this, he runs a long way, gets very lucky from the defender falling over, and smashes it into the top left. It's an early lead over Fleetwood, and the team tactics in this game itself really came into their strength. They were kind of epitomizing for us. Not epitomizing, they were just working well. We were able to plug those holes where we were making those awful mistakes, but they were still there, and they were still apparent. You see it there, I think it was either Baird or Jean Carlos getting that ball off of them with relative ease and not allowing them to attack down the wing, but we were able to counter-attack. It's Reece Brown. It's another goal for him. His 4th in all competitions. This kid is something else. He is really surprising everyone, I believe, especially me included. I knew he had a fairly high potential for Forest Green, but I didn't know it was going to be this high. Take a look at this ball here, takes it off, runs around the defenders, gets past that defender there just as he goes in for the tackle, and Reece Brown thumps it, curves it over the keeper's arm, and it is in. 2-0 away from home. We could be heading into the next round, or maybe not, as Fleetwood Town are able to bring in a good goal there. Still some time left. Still a good 25 minutes left for them to get a goal. And really worry us here in this moment. You can see the crowd going mental as Fleetwood celebrate this goal. Not too sure if that's a smart idea by them. Maybe they should just grab the ball and go back to business, but it's a nice goal to be fair. Once more, I'm not too sure what's going on there. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4. In that shot but there, 5 players on one side of the box and no real strong marking going on. There was 5 players there, and that one ball was able to get through into that one unmarked man and result in a goal. However, it was not that we focused on. Instead, we focused on the win, beating a League One team in our first season in the Football League is something to celebrate. And you see it right there. This is how we look after the first few games. We're sitting in 10th place right now, but we have a win and we still haven't lost. Things are looking kind of okay for us, but there is still a lot of patchwork to be done if we want to become competitive and we want to get out of League 2 ASAP. But that'll end this episode of Cream Mode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you real soon for the next one. Take it, guys, and ta-ra.